I'll do my kind of little blurb that I do at the front end, and then we'll be off and going. Okay. And with all sincerity, brother, thank you. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for a
Can't
while.
wait. We barely even started, and I can't wait for you to start your blurb and let's get it over with.
Okay, let's go.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
baby.
fun. It'll be fun. Yeah, yeah.
5, 4. Hey, welcome, 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 and thank you so very much for joining me on another episode of Talking Cloud. Now, you know, this is where we talk about anything, everything cloud. And frankly, I always say that's anything, everything computing today, because anything and everything computing always seems to touch the cloud somehow. And I've told you, I've confessed so many times, I'm the Gilligan in this equation. But I always find just amazing, brilliant professors to join me. And today I'm super jazzed because I have, true full disclosure, it's a friend. It's a past colleague, a future colleague. And I'm so jazzed today to have Yair Herling on the program. He's vice president of marketing at Veriti, but that's going to change real soon. I'll let him talk about that since Checkpoint, I think, is acquired. I don't know if it's finalized or not yet. You can let me know. But man, it's super exciting to have you with me. Thanks for being here, Yair. What's going on, man?
First of all, happy to be here. Finally, we spoke about it for too long, so
I
I'm
know it's a couple of years. I know at least a couple of years.
bumping into each other in trade shows, and yeah,
Yeah.
so very happy to be here. Like you said, I'm used to be VP of Marketing at Verity. We just got acquired by Checkpoint. That's it. You can read it all over the news. And now I'm head of threat exposure management at Checkpoint. So going back to the crime scene, as they said. I
I love it, man.
heard
It's
I'm
so good
on.
to have you back, man.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I think it's just awesome. And I absolutely love the direction the company has been. Uh, I want to say it's not evolving, it's almost thrusting, right? With the ERM and, the acquisition of Cyberint, I think was big. And now with Verity, I just really see some exciting new ways to solve the security challenges, ways that we've never really done it before. And I'm talking about the kind of cooperation and cross vendor capabilities. Take a minute. I mean, I'm sure there's a fair number of people that are familiar, but remember, I'm the Gilligan.
Oh yeah.
Tell me
So
Verity. Tell me, that pitch you'd give if you were going to go into an account and they're looking at you for solving their problems. What's Verity?
okay. So first of all, it's very simple. We are addressing the most common problem challenges out there, which is like there are too many alerts, too many incidents, too many events. And security vendors always offer like, here's what's going on in your environment. Here's a report. From all the visibility they offer, we are getting like a saturated view, and because we are lacking the remediation strategy. And this is where Verity kicks in. What we do, we'll take all the recommendations, all the findings, all the exposures, so-called exposures that those security vendors find, and we transform them into remediation action. Not only remediation actions, but safe remediation action. That's what Verity is all about. We'll help. We're helping customers take the final step towards remediation, closing the loop from discovering the exposure to actually remediating it. It's everyone's keep prioritizing and reprioritizing, trying to deal with the uncertainty of life. You don't know what's lurking out there,
Yep.
what who's plotting against you, and you can buy another security tool, or you can prioritize and reprioritize, risk-based black box scoring. I don't know, but it all comes to what is your remediation strategy, or how
How are you
pro
going to fix it?
Exactly.
How you
If
gonna?
you
I mean, yeah, you know about it. Yeah, you got visibility in it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when you talk about remediation, if I'm hearing you right,
I'm saying the R word. Oh yeah.
yeah, no, but I guess I think in today's stack for enterprise, you have to literally almost think three-dimensional sphere,
Yeah.
and so many of the uh, alerts are not addressing the complete total sphere that you're trying to secure, right? I'll get an alert and a way to fix it over here in this wedge or slice or plane, but I'm not addressing my
I'm not helping you take the extra mile. I'm
right.
telling you, I'm giving you recommendations. Another R word, but not the, the right one, right?
Right.
You gotta take the extra step. You gotta have like remediation is a big word, and it's a very sensitive
Yep.
word because you
Yep.
gotta take it easily, and always you gotta find the equilibrium between the business and the security. So this is
Mm-hmm.
what well, we're Veriti step in because we help customers take the extra mile from finding out, okay, there's an exposure and I'm going to prioritize it by CVSS, EPSS, all those acronyms, exposure level, exploitability, whatever. But we like to look at it as taking the practical approach because we are getting, okay, these are all the exposures that all those wonderful tools found. Now, these are the tools you have that are able to mitigate the risk safely. Now,
Mm-hmm.
let's connect, integrate between the two perspectives, and we'll find what can be mitigated using the tools you already have. So it's very simple. The tagline is like exposure assessment and safe remediation because we assess exposures across the security controls and being able to provide a safe remediation path for all the exposures and recommendations, vulnerability findings out there.
Hmm.
So it's like the missing link between the assessment and the actual remediation.
How to actually fix it, right?
Exact.
You got a
That's
hole in your raft, uh, and you need a patch.
yeah. Or let's take another analogy that we like to use, like a recipe and a cake. Would you like to get the recipe or the cake?
Hmm.
Right. I
Right.
know some people that will really love that I use that analogy.
Well, good. You can give them a shout out and let them know that
Feel
they did. So, well, that's good. So, in that analogy though, what if I don't have eggs? It calls for two eggs. That cake's not gonna. Oh, wait, I don't have any baking soda. I mean, there's got to be
yeah.
some limitations there. No.
Uh, well, we work with what we have. So there are many types of exposures, right? So you, we start where you are. Start with the tools that you have.
Hmm.
Um, if it means that you gotta uh, turn on a certain protection or download the update of your antivirus engine or firmware update of your checkpoint firewall. So all those aspects
So,
are like we take care of all of those aspects for you.
So you'll look at, and I'm the Gilligan, so I'm asking
Oh yeah,
questions. But
fine.
so you'll look at my stack and all the different tools that I have,
Everything, all the
and
layers.
you'll say, hey, you have this, but you haven't updated it, or you have this, but you don't have the additional component that gives you the higher integrity,
Or,
or that kind of thing.
like I said, like I do like you gotta from marketing perspective, you gotta take the psychological aspect, and people are buying tools because they're afraid that something bad might happen to them, and that's totally understandable. This is how the cybersecurity market evolves. The attackers are moving faster than defenders, and you gotta
Yep.
stay protected. So I'm gonna buy more and more tools, but I'm buying tools, but I'm not using them the way they're supposed to be used. So this is where, again, Verity now Checkpoint steps in. So what if I tell you you can optimize or harden your defenses without worrying about the business implications? Because we will remove that from the equation. Again, finding the equilibrium between business and security.
Mm.
Yeah, so it took us a while to get to that point where we proudly offer that, because remediation, honestly, is something that people like security
Well,
vendors want to be, but it's very controversial, because again, remediation is something not to be taken lightheadedly. But
right.
that's what differentiates us from the rest, because we do it so good.
That's amazing. I mean, you mentioned the the cyber industry, and I had this conversation. I'm curious what you think. I know of no other industry, no other business. War is the only one
Hmm.
where it's never ending. But there's one, I think, really significant difference between this cyber war that we literally have going on and kinetic war. And that is, in kinetic war, they have peace talks, right? I mean, there's peace talks and ceasefires and stuff. Not always, okay, but that's how the path will ultimately often go. I don't. It seems because of the non-visible enemy, the hidden enemy,
Yeah,
kind of cranks that into a never-ending story.
yeah.
Right? I mean, I just don't, I don't, and the way I was putting it the other day, we learn um, the distance, right? So much distance between my fingers. And in fact, we learn later in life that there's still a space between my fingers, but it's amazingly small. And that's how I look at cybersecurity is I mean, it looks like it's this, but there's still space, and if the gap will never get filled. It will forever have an enemy that's going to figure out how to go a little tighter.
I think we all have like a part to play in our lives, and some of us are the thieves, and some of us are like the police, or
Mm,
cyber attackers and cyber defenders, and we do what we love to do. Some of us take, like, I don't know, find this challenge very intriguing,
yeah,
to breach an organization, and some
totally.
and some of us are trying to seal all the gaps and finding this challenge very fulfilling. So
Yeah,
we all have a part to play.
it's
Uh,
remarkable though that uh, despite the continued advances and improvements, there's there's still space there,
yeah,
because there's somebody on the other side that's going to say, "Oh, but hey," and it's
never,
remarkable,
yeah,
never
never.
ending.
And this is how the technology keeps evolving, and people finding new ways to handle risk, or to breach organizations, or to manage their risk differently.
Yeah,
So and when I'm doing marketing, unlike uh, the FUD system,
right.
fear, uncertainty, and doubt,
Yep,
I'm trying not to get my, I know, lead or demand generation strategy affected by FUD. Always
right.
try to get the positive marketing, rather than, if you don't buy our tool, bad things will happen to you.
Yeah, I'm with you. And
And
that's been a pendulum in this
oh yeah,
industry, right? I
oh,
mean, I remember, it goes from the negative, if you will, or the ominous warnings, the FUD, and then it's back to security's the enabler, right? Security is what security does is it enables you to do these things. It enables you to sit on the beach and conduct email, right? So I'm with you. I tend to like to fall on the side of positive.
But it's so easy to scare your audience. So
It's it's
it's the
it's
simplest marketing
it's
tactic.
it's almost impossible not to,
Yeah, I know.
especially if you start to get pushback, if there's an objection, right?
Yeah.
You want to immediately say, well, but what if, right?
What if? I know.
Yeah,
So
the
hard.
proverbial what if. I mean, I used to have a wife that everything was
Me
what
too,
if.
wife.
Oh, yes, that was I used to. I'm sorry you heard
I know
that.
that. I know. I know. So the what ifs are very hard to resist, but I find, like we're talking about the attackers lurking out there and outpacing the cyber defenders. But I really find it like, well, it's so easy. I really find it much more, I don't know, like true, or when I talk about what,
Genuine.
yeah,
Yeah,
genuine.
yeah,
When I talk about what, like the good things that will happen once you
yeah,
deploy with Verity, for example. So I try to do it before. It's like an A/B, like
yeah.
A/B testing, always trying to find what works, and it works the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Because people, fear is what drives us, what keeps us alerted. That's true, but you gotta bring something else. It's not just
Yep,
about fear. It's about
yep,
hope.
yep,
It's about
yep.
the future could look different if you just, you know, do
Totally.
that instead of. And this is what remediation symbolizes: hope.
Yep, yep. That's true. Yeah, I think also in a way this emphasis on open garden on the part of our CEO Nadav,
Yeah,
the 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 demonstrable action, not just the marketing words. I think that's what's really, to give up CNAP, I think
yeah,
is, that's
great.
that's a definitive action that's saying I'm putting my money where my mouth is. We're getting focused, right? Um, uh, that move combined with the acquisition of Cyberint, the acquisition of Verity. I mean, these are demonstrable moves that are more than just, hey, we want to integrate with you and,
Of course,
we have a program, right?
yeah.
I mean, this is, I think, much more significant. And so I'm encouraged by how, I mean, for example, I thought it was really cool how we're able to take the intelligence that we're gathering on the part of Cyberint and then using that with email, right? And just a stupid example, but the correlation of my email's been found in the dark web on a breach, so the propensity for me being subject to phishing is exponentially higher. But that's powerful correlation that has demonstrable benefit, and so I'm excited to see how we'll do more of that
So
type of activity.
I think it's a very interesting balance between, like you said, open garden means the one-stop shop model or idea, well, we know it's not working. Everyone's keep buying whatever they can,
Yep,
the best of breed, or I'll get the best WAF and checkpoints best firewall and other tools and all, that represent like the best of all worlds. So um, so I think that being able to, is that a train?
it's actually, they heard you were on the program and they asked if they could come by and salute you as you're speaking.
Thank you for that. So what I was trying to say is that being able to offer like the best security in a way, but also let the best security lead in other ways, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Enable like Checkpoint as the first vendor to enable the best security lead, whether it's Checkpoint or just like in a collaborative manner,
Right.
because like you said, you find intelligence on the dark, like intelligence related to you on the dark web. You find intelligence that is related to you that one of the security that the Checkpoint firewall had found, and you want to enrich it. You want to propagate, to disseminate it to the rest of the security tools that the
Right.
customer has with Checkpoint and Veriti. Now you can
Yeah.
easily. So the
Yeah.
collaboration is very important. Being able to just um, will do so easily for the first time. That's a powerful statement.
It's huge. It's very huge. And I think, uh, again, I can't think of a better example of putting our money where our mouth is on, the moves that I just talked about, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I think it really shows that we're going to be focused, and in the spaces that we're going to play, we're going to be in on one of the boxes, 1, 2, 3, the podium player, right? I mean, really.
Well, I can tell you, like exposure. The word exposure is like the trendiest uh,
Well, no,
right now.
well,
The most,
AI. I mean, I don't know
of course,
if
yeah,
AI, but yeah,
yeah. Of course, AI is here to stay, of course, but
you got to take that out of the trendiest. But
not
you're
a trend
exactly
yet.
right.
But
Exposure is like
exposure is
everybody's.
everywhere, right? For
Yeah,
years now,
yeah.
and and everyone is looking for.
Observability has been quite popular too. That's been another
Yeah,
very popular one.
that's also true. So okay, not the trendiest, but people are looking of how can I deal with the exposures that I have. Exposure is a market now, and it's
Yeah,
a market because people keep asking. Okay, now I understand that exposure is in like an aggregation of different like vulnerabilities and misconfigurations and security gaps. Some of them are overlapping definitions, but they're all aggregated or um, it, the word exposure defines them all, and people are like,
right.
okay, I need a strategy. I need like an so unlike other vendors that change, so I'm not doing vulnerability management anymore. Now I am an exposure management platform. That's what I do because that so so what
Well, it opens it up, right? I mean, it makes it bigger.
it makes it bigger, but I just read this article written by one of the distinguished Gartner analysts talking about you gotta go. Exposure management is great, but you gotta go preemptive. Otherwise, it doesn't hold
Mm-hmm.
water.
Mm-hmm.
The word he used was uh, perish. They will perish if they not go preemptive.
Hmm.
So
Preemptive, as in take action before, don't wait
like,
after. I mean, sounds
raising
kind
the
of
flag and say, "Hey, you got an exposure over there," is not preemptive. Preemptive, like take action, do something about it, not just
mm-hmm.
you know, like I'm going back to the point where we started. Everyone's providing you with recommendations, with alerts, incidents, with security events. But what about helping you take the actual mitigation steps?
Right, right. There's
Connecting
a
those exposures with the tools you already have and offering you, okay, so this misconfiguration is causing the exposure. Why don't you press remediate?
so any vendor. I mean, do you have a limitation of what vendors you interoperate
Oh, no,
with? I mean,
it's 70 plus integrations now.
it's a
Uh,
long list.
it's a very long list of open garden
And
security
you're
vendors.
starting, I suspect, with the big rocks first.
Yeah.
So the integration and interoperability with
Uh,
All the big players,
all
as you
the
would expect.
all the big players, all the dinosaurs, they're all there,
Hmm.
and all their products as well. So it's
And are you constantly adding vendors there as customers come in and say, "Hey, we have this, you don't have that"?
yeah, of course, to support the ever growing security stack.
Hmm.
Like we said,
Hmm.
as long as attackers keep attacking, uh,
You're going to
the
be in business.
yeah, 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 exactly.
So, so tell me about, one of the things that I think I'm a subscriber to, or a believer of, I should say, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Uh, AI, it's in everybody's conversation, it's in everybody's discussion. Every product has it, and I believe we're rapidly turning a corner where it's got to be fire with fire. I mean, I think if you're not using AI, you're. I was talking with somebody, and this was so perfect. It was a meme of a car that got rear-ended by a locomotive, right? And it's the speed at which this is changing the whole game,
Yeah,
right? And I think it was in the context that we were talking about SDLC and shifting left and then vibe coding and how it's just blowing all of that away. Um, but I'm just curious to hear your view on AI, how AI is getting utilized, if it is, how it's incorporated in Verity. Just talk a little bit about the AI phenomenon that's happening.
so first of all, I'll say something very general about it. It just makes one's life very easy, almost too easy. So if you want to write a code, if you want to write a malware, if you want to write or just manage or orchestrate this entire attack or orchestrate this entire, I know, like a system that should provide you with knowledge, with information, with intelligence. Oh, so it's almost too easy now, right?
Mm,
So it's all a matter of what you do with it. I can tell you that in Verity, our architecture was based on on agentic AI. Before it was like it was in business and everybody started talking about it.
before it was like exposure.
Exactly. No, well, that's an interesting story as well. How we changed or did a little bit of pivot to be called to address the exposure market, but I will leave it to perhaps later. So from the A, so we aside of the architecture that is based on agents, we also offer, of course, LLM models to just inquire your security posture. How well am I
Yep.
doing? Am I protected from? So, on that sense, we are fully covered and offering this capability to our customers. Again, taking like a general perspective, I think that it's now almost too easy, and
Mm,
the concept of we gotta use AI to defend against attackers that are using AI and
mm,
modify their,
mm.
so um,
It's funny, Yair. I have to, and I can't remember it exactly. It was an MIT research paper that showed they had three groups. One that was just using your brain, another that was using your brain and search, and a third that was using your brain and ChatGPT. And it was analyzing the stimulation within your brain. Wasn't promising. Okay, this was not
but,
encouraging data, and I
yeah,
could find it, and they had three graphic representations of the activity occurring. The snapping of the neurons in the brain in those three scenarios. And dude, I'm telling you,
yeah,
boom, the activity plummeted as you moved over into using an assistant like ChatGPT,
yeah,
and of course, it's, you know, who knows what's really going on in all of that gray matter up there. But it was not encouraging in terms of the, are we going to keep the pencil sharp? Are
Yeah.
we going to end up having a bunch of number twos that are flat at the top? you know, I mean,
Oh my God. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I think we gotta fight it harder because
I agree.
like I can tell you, like again, not talking about cybersecurity. I'm a musician, right? And like aside of being like the VP of marketing for Veriti,
Right. You have a life and you have
yeah,
other passions. Yes.
oh yeah, look me up on Spotify. So
What's your stage name?
Herling,
Herling.
my family name, Herling. Yeah,
Okay. Check it out. Spotify.
yeah.
Herling. Herling
So
on Spotify.
on Spotify.
See, I'm giving you those plugs, baby. If I
Thank
had it queued up, I wish I would have known. I would have had it queued up and I would have hit play, so it had a little background music. Maybe I'll find it while you're talking.
you. Yeah. So
Anyway, I threw you. Sorry.
anyway, now people there are AI engines that write your songs, lyrics, and harmony and melody and harmony. Everything is like and from
It's going
creating.
to all start sounding plastic.
Yeah.
Just
So what about the creative?
yeah,
The process. You're writing a song from your memories, from your emotions, trying to get something out of your
the
life.
feeling.
Yeah, exactly. So now
Yeah,
I'm just gonna double click and I have a song.
yeah.
And like it's tragedy, right?
It is. I'll tell you something. I watched a special, and it was about the Jackson Five.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and it was, I think it was a documentary that was created, I believe, like back in the 80s or 90s. I mean, it was several years ago. And I remember one of the older brothers it was talking about the influence of digitization,
Mm.
and the negative influence, because when you were playing with the band, there's a heartbeat, there's a groove that band gets into or never finds, right? And when they really get it, they're literally interconnected in how that flow
So
goes, right? I mean, your solo, you can go as long as you want, and the rest of the band is right there with you, and they know when you're going to cut over to the keyboard or whatever, right? I mean, there's a rhythm there. And when you have this bass line that's digital and created, it never has any variation, unlike a human drummer or bass player,
that is
right?
so
And he really just despised it because he felt it robbed the life out of the music.
it's different. I gotta say, it's different. It is like the electronic music and all. It's different. Like as a person, like I played in several bands, and I can tell you, nothing can replace this. Five people or 12, even 50 people in a
Everybody jamming.
brass band, whatever jazz band,
Yeah.
playing, jamming together. It's one of the you know best feelings
Oh,
in the world.
totally.
Yeah,
I mean, I
and it's
I've
all about
always,
connecting with people. Like we
yeah,
always started recording, the
yeah,
friction,
yeah.
the yeah,
There is
uh,
something, um, and it's interesting, kind of taking it back to tech and AI. And one of the things I've done a fair amount of research in the last few months on is, there's a fair amount of anxiety out there
oh,
amongst the, let's say, 30 to 40 at the beginning and up to I'm not retired yet, pick your age. Um, but there's a fair amount of anxiety over, man, I mean, am I going to lose my job
yeah.
to this chat GPT, or, this whole to AI? And I really see a huge gap, in the market, um, for people to truly understand, and I've got pages of research on this, that the real, we need to focus on the humanness that we have, that Claude, Grok, ChatGPT will never have.
Yeah.
It is the EQ, if you will,
It's a
not
good.
the IQ, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we already all have assistants that are far higher IQ than us. It's called ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the EQ side that people need to really fine tune and not lose sight of, so that they keep it in the equation as they embrace this technology, as opposed to resist it
So
or
I think it's so important, and it's like the same like versus hope, like we discussed before, because we gotta take this as a warning sign, okay, to
yeah,
keep our humanness, like you said,
yes,
because it's so easy, just to have two chat GPT engines talking to each other instead of us,
it's
and
I was talking with a guy. So my wife and I are celebrating our anniversary next month, 25 years, just
oh,
the
it's,
same woman. um, I want to clarify for you. Uh, but I love to. Usually, I'm in the drive-through and I'll pay for the car behind me, so they never see me, because I don't do it for that. It makes my pillow softer. But when I go into a Starbucks, I'll get the guy behind me. And I was talking with this guy, Dave, 13 kids, lives in Minnesota. Uh, Same wife. I mean, just him and his wife. Any twins? No. Oh, I mean, I'm like, oh wow. Um, can I buy? I mean, it's like, you only want one cup of coffee. Are you sure you don't? There's not more in the order. But we were talking about, you know, this doesn't happen. This being
I know,
him and I just saying, "Hi, I'm Grant. You're Dave. What do you do?" "Yeah, I'm with. I got a construction." We just talked, and it's it's something that I do worry that we're losing sight
yeah.
of this that you talked about, right? And it's not in a negative context, but it's the touch, it's the human side.
Yeah,
Uh,
and it started with COVID 5 years ago, and I remember when people were starting to do trade shows again. You remember there
mm,
was so much happiness.
oh, so much enthusiasm for it.
Wow, people were
It
like,
was
"I'm so happy to see, to feel you, to talk,
yes,
to smell it,"
yes,
you know.
yes,
And
yes.
now with GPT, it's like just
Yeah, it's
uh,
it's luring us back into that
cave.
cocoon, that cave. That's right. And
Yeah,
it's also, I think it's also, I think we'll probably get to a point sometime, because we're starting to see this now more and more. Uh, Schools are not, they're taking phones away from kids during school.
yeah,
And I applaud that. I think it's a smart move. In fact, I think, in hindsight, as I look back, I wish I would have been much more uh, controlling of technology for my youngest kids.
yeah.
My older kids weren't involved in it so much, but my youngest, he's 24 now, and certainly,
You had his share.
it's been heavy on him. And
Yeah,
I'm proud that he's astute enough to see it, and so he's put his own restrictions. I mean, he's actually got his he can't look at his Instagram anymore until tomorrow, right? Because he's set it up to control him, because he knows he'll just sit and doom scroll.
yeah.
But
That's
that has really presented some phenomenons that I mean, normal conversation. If I said to you, "Hey, here, did you talk to him?" And if you spoke literally with him, "Oh yeah, I talked to him," or, "Oh no, I sent him a message." But if I ask my son, "Hey, did you talk to him?" "Oh yeah, I talked to him." Oh yeah, what'd he say? Oh, okay. Well, well, I don't know. What do you mean? Well, it was just a text. Okay, so time fucking out, man, because talking to someone is not a text message, whether it's sent or received. So let's just set this correct, right? Because they have a different view of communication, and it's extraordinary to me. Call him. Oh, I don't want him to think I'm stalking him. He's got a phone. That's
Yeah,
why he's got a phone. But there's a different mentality.
it is, but it's also, I guess, most of people you will speak, you will talk to about this will prefer not to talk, but to text. There's so many, texting apps, so many apps out there that provide means to avoid speaking to with.
I,
So,
for me, I
well,
man, it's a struggle.
yeah, it's part of who we are. I used to be like introvert, really.
Hmm.
I grew up, I was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable. And once I found the magic of speaking, feeling people, talking to, getting to know people, it was like, oh my God, like, what have I missed for so many years, right?
Mm,
I've been doing keynotes now. We talked about it. Like
sure.
I'm still using your method of, like, raising your fists in the air, and
Yeah.
yeah, of course, I remember. I
It's
remember.
an
Oh,
I
wow,
love it. I think that's
that's
awesome,
great.
man. And it makes a difference.
Oh my God,
It-
yeah.
I mean,
Before every time I
me
speak,
too.
and
There isn't it. It's don't you
happen.
find it extraordinary? I've tried to explain this to people, and it's the only way you can understand it is to actually do it. it. I feel fucking ready just by you know just by doing that for 15, 20 seconds,
Yeah.
and really believing in my mind that, fuck yeah, I just won that race. You know what I mean? It kind of just, I mean, I'm out of my shoes, you know?
Yeah, out there. Yeah. So I don't. I understand. I acknowledge the human, need, or just finding the safe place. I rather text than to speak to someone. But once you give it a chance, it's like, like, we start talking and we getting to know each other, and it's
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, texting's brilliant,
Yeah,
but not for a conversation,
that's true.
right?
I always prefer. Yeah,
And anytime somebody starts, you know, they text me and, hey, got a second? Sure. And then I get this long paragraph. I just
GPT.
call them. I just call them. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
because I can cover so much more in a conversation than having to try to, thumb out what I
yeah.
want to try to say. You know, I don't
And there
know.
aren't any typos when you speak to someone, right?
That's right. Now there may be agent, but there's no typos.
No, yeah,
I might not say things correctly,
that's
uh,
okay. That's
but
okay.
that's okay as long as you knew what I meant. That's what my
Mhm.
wife always says. I said, honey, that's the wrong word. Yeah, but you knew what I meant. Okay, so you can just use stupid words, but as long as I knew what you meant, it's okay. That's troublesome because what if I didn't know what you meant, but you thought I knew what you meant? Now we're in
Especially
trouble.
talking about it in a,
This has been, man. We could talk for another 2 hours, brother. I really enjoyed chatting with you and kind of just exploring. It's fun, and I'm really glad you were able to make some time to come on the program and chat. So thanks for that. Super excited to work with you again too.
my pleasure.
And
My
so tell
pleasure.
me again now, what's your title?
I am head of threat exposure management, head of marketing, threat exposure management.
Threat exposure management and external risk, ERM. Is that falling? That's a different head.
There's a different head of marketing for ERM.
Yeah, yeah,
Different
yeah.
head. We are two heads.
There's many heads. There's many,
Yeah,
many, many
in this
heads. But
emerging area. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's in this emerging exposure area. I
True.
had to throw that word out there.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have found like a home. When we started, there's so many. You know,
Well,
you
you guys just totally broke. You, I have to applaud you guys for this. And I had this conversation yesterday with my when I recorded a guest that's coming up on a future episode, and it has to do with you're a startup, but you have this ominous Gartner influence, right? Because Gartner's the one that creates the box,
yeah,
and either you're in the box or you're out of the box, and if you're out of the box, you're doomed,
no
right?
credibility.
And so you better be inside the box. Now, there are many boxes, but more to the point is it's their box. And if you don't see the world through their lens, if you have a different view of the box, you know, that's the north face of the mountain, brother,
Yeah,
to climb, because you're literally carving out something that's not there until the pundits go, hey, geez, these guys are right. And there's a new box
you
that
gotta have
all of a sudden now you're inside the box.
you gotta have patience, and patience
Well, you
means
also got to believe in what you're doing,
yeah, yeah,
right? Because that's a heavy influence, man. When you guys, when anybody starts out in a startup world and they don't fit in that, analyst box, but have a very, think cyberint, think, there are solutions that come out, and all of a sudden, oh wow, this is something cool. But it's a tough climb, but you have to stay committed to it, right?
you gotta understand why you're doing this, and you gotta believe, and once you know why you're doing this, so you gotta stay persistent and patient, and it will happen. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter like if you change acronyms, you change your coat on the way,
right. Yeah,
yeah, because it's a long journey,
yeah,
and we change some clothes during,
sure.
yeah,
Well, you're foolish if you don't adapt, right?
yeah,
I mean, obviously, no one has a crystal ball, but I do find it an interesting influence, right? The Gartner tax, if you will, the
yeah.
the analyst.
And all in all, the just people. And what I enjoy about talking to Gartner analysts, or you know the other analyst firms, it doesn't matter, is the conversation, like with
Mm,
or trying to understand. Or I major philosophy, and I enjoy talking to people, and I enjoy accepting their world of like logic and terms and so I talk to them in their language, and it's so enjoyable.
mm,
And once there's a common ground, so we can speak and we can understand each other ideas,
right.
and again, this is where the magic happens. And again, I enjoy talking to all the Gartner analysts, forest analysts that we are engaged with in a way,
Yep.
and they talk about us, and we've been through a lot from the
Sure.
early days that nothing sticked,
Yeah.
until today where it's like it's part of the vision. This is how
Yeah.
security vendors going to think in a few months or years.
Yeah. Depending on where you are in that whole cycle, right?
Yeah,
Brother, thank you.
it was a pleasure,
I,
really.
I really enjoyed talking with you, man. Thank you so much. It's good to
Fantastic.
see you. I can't wait to see you um, going to Black Hat. Maybe I'll see you there.
No, but I'll be in Colorado soon, so
Okay. Well,
I'll
we'll
give you
see
a
each
call.
other soon. Yeah, do for sure.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been awesome, huh?
Oh yeah.
My dear friend Yair Herling, who's now threat
Marketing
head of marketing,
threat exposure management.
threat exposure management. I'll get it down right. This has been awesome. I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, have enjoyed it as much as me. I always love talking to people, and Yair is one of my special, absolute favorite people. And so this has been really a special episode for me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please share, like, tell your friends. I mean, I'm trying to grow this audience. I mean, I'm no Ron Burgundy, but hey, it's fun. I got lots of episodes to listen to, and there's lots more coming. So thank you very, very much for being here, and we'll look forward to having you back on the next episode of Talking Cloud. Thanks so very much. Boop.